Yo, 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 what's good, YouTube? It's your boy B-Lee back again. It's been a while. I haven't seen you guys since my Godzilla review. My bad. Man, work been killing me. I'ma just be real. I know that's not an excuse, but it is what it is. But hey, Child's Play, the new movie, it's a remake. In a weird circumstance because the original franchise is still going on, but they still wanted to do a little reboot. Um, this movie was surprisingly good. I went in this movie with low expectations because I was nervous. I was nervous, um, mainly because I had no direction. Like I had no sense of direction of where this movie was going to take me. Um, but watching this movie, I walked out satisfied. I walked out very satisfied. Uh, Mark Hamill, aka the Joker, aka Luke Skywalker, did an amazing job as the voice of Chucky. The kid who played Andy did good. Um, the lady who played his mom, Detective Mike Norris, was good. Everybody in this movie was phenomenal. And you know, it it surprised me because my whole thing was how you're gonna make this different from the original because it's 2019 and when you're doing something like this, you don't want to do a beat for beat reboot. You want to completely make this your own movie. And that's what this movie did. It wasn't no human spirit possessing a doll or anything. It was simply an AI doll gone wrong. And it worked. It worked throughout this movie. Uh, just picture yourself having this doll and it's just acting up, killing people. Like, it's silly, but it worked. And that's another thing I like about this movie. This movie knew what it was. It wasn't trying to be something it wasn't. It wasn't trying to go like a total dark route because, even though Child's Play slash the Chucky franchise is a horror franchise, it's still comedic. It's still entertaining. And this remake didn't take that away. It still had the heart and soul of the franchise, and I appreciate that. Unlike the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot, where it was just straight serious, and Freddy Krueger is he's a comedic. But yes, this movie works. The only thing I don't like about this movie is the design of Chucky. This right here, now, this is Chucky. Like, this design make you like, oh my gosh, that's Chucky. This design of Chucky makes you just want to slap it. um, Mainly because of his facial expressions. Like, he makes the weirdest facial expressions throughout this movie, but in some cases it works. Like when he's like plotting, he like has a smirk on his face, like, and it's so hilarious. And there's this one part in the movie where I feel like they're gonna make memes out of it because he was like making all types of faces, and I was just like, yo, I can't unsee this. And what else? What else? Yeah, I'm missing something. But oh, the score. The score is amazing. I love it. Bear McCreary did an amazing job on the score. Um, it's crazy because he just did the Godzilla King of the Monsters score, and that was phenomenal. And now he's remaking the Child's Play score. A1. I loved it. Um, I actually have the new Child's Play theme on my phone. It's amazing. What else am I forgetting to talk about? Oh, you get like a 80s feel because like there's a point in the movie where Andy and a bunch of other kids like they like get together to take down Chucky, and you're just like, yo, this is like some E.T. Goonies it type stuff going on here, and I love it. Like I was watching this movie like, wow, I didn't think this movie was going to be this good. Uh, Chucky does something else in this movie. I don't want to spoil it. There's a scene where you're just like, there's a scene in this movie where you're just like, yo, we need to shut down everything. Like, I was making sure my phone was off. I was like, yo, making sure ain't no dolls in here. Because they can literally take control of anything. And in this particular scene, it was just mind blowing. Because I was just like, yo, they're going for it. And speaking of going for it, they don't hold back. Like, there's this scene involving, I guess you can say, a mascot and a little girl. That's all I'm going to say. A mascot and a little girl. They don't hold back. They don't hold back on this movie. You're just like, oh my gosh. They're going for it. Like, they're using this R rating to its advantage. And this re-imaging of, imagining of Chucky is off the chain. This was a good movie. I'm like, I was surprised because I was nervous as heck. Um, oh, one thing I will say, another big difference between this film and the original Chucky franchise. Since the original Chucky franchise, Chucky is actually possessed by a human, you know, you get a lot of dialogue with Chucky. Um, and this one, you know, like I said, he's just an AI doll gone berserk. So his dialogue is like stuff he's programmed to say, but he learns stuff along the way, I will say. He learns stuff around the way and like he's picking stuff up, like talking, like let's say he's programmed to say, "You're my best friend." And he can listen to somebody and I don't know, doorbell. Somebody can just say doorbell and he's like, doorbell. He didn't really say doorbell in the movie. I'm just using that as an example. And he starts to putting sentences together. Itty bits of sentences. Like he's not saying full long sentences like I am now, like the original Chucky. Like he says stuff in bits and pieces. And like I said, for this situation, it works because he's not a human possessing a doll. He's just a doll gone haywire. Um, but yeah, Mark Hamill did a good job with the voicing. Um, the My Buddy song, can't get that out my head now. It is what it is. Something else I'm forgetting. Um, I'm thinking that's it as far as like how I feel overall about the film. Um, like I said, it surprised me. Um, the marketing for this movie was off the chain because, as you know, Toy Story 4 and Child's Play released on the same day tonight, and Child's Play been throwing shade at Toy Story 4, and it's been an hilarious journey. And I know box office wise, Child's Play ain't gonna do as much as Toy Story 4, but it was a good movie. I will say that. Another thing I was worried about, I will mention, that got answered in the movie. I remember doing the trailers. I noticed that the kid who played Andy was older. So I was like, okay, in the original Child's Play, Andy was, a little child. So of course he would want a doll. So watching the trailers for this one, I was like, okay, this kid is like a teenager. What is he doing with a doll? But they explain it in this movie how he ends up with the doll and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now, okay, that makes sense. Alright. Because I was about to say, you're too old to be playing with a doll, buddy. Oh, speaking of playing with the doll. See, they went deep with this movie, though. I will say that, like, they went in depth between Chucky and Andy. Like, they literally had a relationship in this movie. And I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting them to dig deep like that. Um, that's about it. Yeah, I feel like that's about it. Cause this movie was good. They set it up for a sequel. Will it be a sequel? I guess it depends how much money this one does. And that's honestly it. Uh, yeah. Yeah, overall, this was a good movie. I'm so glad it wasn't a beat for beat reboot. It took the source material and just made it its own movie. And from someone who likes a good remake, this was a good remake. And I like the fact that it knew what it was. It didn't take itself too seriously. Like, it was still entertaining while being a horror film. What more can you ask for? It's a Chucky movie. And we have to, and I think, and critics need to learn this. From a fan standpoint, that's all I wanted. A Chucky movie. I didn't want nothing more, nothing less. But I'm just so glad they made the new film make sense. Because that was my whole issue. Like, going with the whole AI approach, is it going to make sense? And it did. And I was left satisfied. I feel like the movie won. It did. No matter if it blows Toy Story 4 out the box office or not, but in my opinion, it won because it won me over. Uh, Still hate the design. The design looks like I ordered a Chucky doll from off of Wish, and that's the Chucky I ended up with coming in the mail. That's what the Chucky doll looks like. But hey, I've been rambling on too long. Um, if you've seen the film yet, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like my review, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share. You know, I'm going to try my best to keep these videos coming, because with my work schedule now, and I honestly just be tired. You know, I've been slacking on videos, especially my reactions. Like, I've been letting trailers slip by me, and I'm sorry for my fellow subscribers. I've noticed a couple dropped off, and I don't blame you. You know, I haven't been consistent, you know, so that's what I get. And I take ownership of that. And I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. But hey, if you like my review, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And as always, it's your boy B. Lee, signing off.